Hello and welcome, everyone. So, whether you are joining me live or you're watching this on replay, whether it's next week, next month, or next year, I truly believe that you're here for a reason. So, today is not about motivation. If you have been in my energy for any length of time, you will know that I don't do motivation. I do transformation. So, this isn't about me trying to convince you that you can have a better life or you already know that. Deep down, each and every one of you know that you can actually achieve whatever it is that you desire. So the question is, if that's true, why aren't you living it? You know that you're capable of so much more. But what I'm going to show you is how to get there. So my name is Melanie Breslin, and for years I have studied mindset. I have studied identity, human behavior, and the teachings of some of the greatest minds in personal development. But more importantly, I have spent years working with people who have incredible potential, but still feel stuck. And I've discovered that most people are asking the wrong questions. Every single one of my clients at the beginning is asking me how. How do I change my life? When the better question is, who do I need to become? Because your life isn't created by what it is that you want, okay? It's created by the identity. It's created by who you are being. So most people believe that they need more confidence. Maybe they need more discipline, or they need more motivation, more money, better opportunities, or probably the perfect strategy. But if all these things were true, okay, if all these things were the answer, every single person with access to a podcast, to a book, to YouTube, they will already be living their dream life. Information is not the problem. The problem is identity. We can gather all the information, each and every one of you, okay? But then we hold it in our conscious mind, we can repeat it. So we are looking at our subconscious. We are looking at the identity. You will always, absolutely always behave in a way that is consistent with how you see yourself. So if you believe yourself to be somebody that struggles, you're going to unconsciously recreate that struggle. You're going to see the evidence around you from what you believe about yourself inside. And if you believe that you're someone who always starts but maybe never finishes, you're going to find a reason to stop. If you believe success is hard for you, obviously you're going to see the evidence around you. You're going to make it hard. And I'm not saying that you do it on purpose. Your subconscious mind is always working to keep your identity consistent. It would rather keep you in the familiar, in the comfort, rather than let you become someone new. That's why lasting change feels so uncomfortable. You're not just changing your habits, okay? You're changing who you believe yourself to be. And that is where the transformation comes in. That is where, when we study ourselves for 6 months, you're not just changing for a short period of time. You're changing your life for the rest of your life. So let me ask you a question. Who are you? Take a few seconds even to answer that. Who are you? But I don't want you to answer it with your name. Not your name or even your job. Okay? Not your role as a parent or a guardian or a partner or maybe even a business owner. Who are you being? If I asked you to finish this sentence, okay? I am someone who. What's the first thing comes to the forefront of your mind? What would you say? Just even write it down. Okay, we've got I'm someone who overthinks. Someone who struggles with money, okay? I'm someone who's always putting everyone else first. These all sound very familiar because each one of these I was. I'm someone who's never been confident. Where did all these ideas come from? Did you consciously choose these ideas? Or maybe they were formed. They could have been formed through childhood, through school, through experiences, or maybe some relationships that you've had. Some disappointments that's shown up in your life. And one of my favorites, maybe the opinions of other people. Most people are living from an identity that they have not even consciously chosen for themselves. And that's why awareness is the beginning of freedom. You cannot change something that you cannot see. And no matter what I tell you, okay, you won't accept it. You have to see it for yourself. So whenever you begin observing your thoughts, instead of just automatically believing that they're just there, everything starts to shift. You realize that, you know what, this isn't me. That's a pattern that's playing on repeat. That's a pattern that's maybe playing on default. That's not the truth, that's conditioning. And whenever you're aware of that, you can see that that isn't your future. That is not your future. That's simply the past repeating itself over and over and over again. So this is why I don't teach manifestation as just simply thinking positive thoughts and repeating affirmations. Because there is a layer below that. Underneath all those affirmations, if you still identify as the old version of you, that old story of yourself, nothing's going to really change. Your identity is always going to win. You can't outperform your self-image forever. Eventually, you will always return to the level of the person that you believe yourself to be. So instead of asking, how do I manifest more money? I've been asked that question millions of times. Ask yourself, who's the version of me that wealth naturally flows to? And even right down to, like, how do I have more confidence? I remember thinking, all I want is to be confident. All I want is to be happy. All I want is to be free. But I was thinking, right, how do I do this? But I had to flip it around and say, right, who is the woman that is naturally expresses confidence? Who is the woman that walks into that restaurant by herself? Who is the woman that walks and enters a room and doesn't care what anyone else thinks of her because she loves herself so much? That's who I had to become. And even thinking about, how do I become more successful? Who's the version of me that success just flows through to and through? Everything totally changes when the question that you're asking changes. So I would love you, anyone here now, whether you're watching this in replay, whether you're here live, I would love you to do something for me right now, if it's safe to do so, okay? Because I know some cameras are off here and some people is driving, so just if it's safe to do so. I want you to close your eyes and take a deep breath. Take a really deep breath. Breathe in and release. Now on your second breath, I want you to imagine yourself 1 year from now. Not the version of you sitting here now, okay? Not the version of you that is hoping and that is wishing. The version that already is loving the life that you've been asking for. Okay? You're already living that life. You've already achieved the goal. You've already achieved all the desires. I want you to notice, how do they stand? How are they holding themselves? How do they breathe? I want you to notice the energy that they're carrying, okay? You're there, you've achieved it. What energy is flowing to and through you? How do they make decisions? What conversations? What conversations are they having? What conversations do they no longer entertain? What excuses have disappeared? What excuses are not even in their consciousness anymore? What standards have you raised? And what do you think of yourself? How do you look? How do you look at yourself now? How do you look after yourself? How do you speak to yourself? Now, I want you to ask one really simple question. What would that version of you do today? Not next year, not next month, but today. Because your future isn't built someday. Your future isn't out there waiting for you to catch up with it. It's not next year. It is not next month. It's today. Your future starts today because your future isn't built someday. It is built in today's decisions. It is built in that one conversation that you're maybe afraid to have. It's built in that one boundary that you haven't set yet. Maybe one real courageous action that you're afraid to take. One new standard that you're placing. That is how your identity changes day by day. It is not in one giant leap, but through repeated decisions that become who you are. So one of my absolutely favorite ideas is Neville speaks about very often is that attention is one of the greatest powers that you can possess. Whatever your attention goes, your energy is automatically going to follow that. But most people have been trained to place, all of their attention on what's going wrong, of all their attention on why is it not happening, what's missing, what's other people doing, in their jobs. But the moment that you deliberately direct your attention inward to here, to you, and choose what you are doing and what's going to mentally occupy this space, what you're doing is you begin reclaiming your power. And even as Neville Goddard teaches, when you gain control of your inner attention, you become the master of your own life. So where is your inner attention going? The conversations that you're having when no one else is around, with the conversations that you're having with yourself, the judgments that you place on yourself, the story that's going on in your head that you're not good enough, that you're not capable of, all those quiet conversations that's lying underneath the verbal conversations that you're having out loud, that's what's manifesting daily. So if you leave with one thing today, I want it to be this, okay? Stop asking yourself when your life is going to change. Because if you're asking yourself when your life is going to change, that's the energy that you're putting out that it's not changing. Start asking yourself, who am I becoming today? Because time isn't what creates transformation. I hear people talking about, I have studied this for years and I have done this for this length of time. It's time. Time isn't what creates transformation. It's how quick you can accept an idea. How quick can you accept an idea? Because your identity creates a transformation. Your future isn't waiting for the perfect moment. Your future isn't waiting for the bank balance to be right. Your future is waiting for you to become that version, that person that no longer needs permission. She doesn't need permission to take the steps. So if today's message has resonated with you in any way whatsoever, if something inside you has said, okay, this is what I've been missing, this is what I've been waiting for, then I would love to help you. This is the work that we do inside Elite Mindset Academy. We don't just change your thinking, we change identity. Because when your identity changes, like your thoughts change, your decisions change. And then when your decisions change, the action that you take changes. And eventually, your life is going to change. It's going to transform far beyond what you ever can think possible now. So if you would like to know more, just simply send me one word, identity, and we'll have a conversation. We can have a conversation about where you are now in this moment, in this present moment in time, and we can think about where you want to be, and also whether I'm the right person to help you bridge that gap. So the journey is about you. The truth will always resonate with you. And this is where we look at our intuition. Follow that inner guidance, because that inner guidance will never, ever take you wrong. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me today. And thank you for spending this time with me today. But remember, you don't become extraordinary by waiting for life to change. You become it the moment that you say yes to yourself. You say yes to yourself. So I hope each and every one of you have the most amazing rest of your day. And I will talk to you all later. Lots of love. Take care.